Sara Duterte versus John Vic Remulla sa pagkapresidente ng 2028 elections. So Dad, medyo umiinit na naman ang usapin sa 2028. Ang dami na natin mga pangalang pinag-usapan dito ng mga posibleng mga contender. Kasi alam naman natin lahat na si Vice President Sara Duterte is a given. She's the woman to beat and she's the one leading in the surveys. And dati sinabi natin na posible si Raffy Tulfo kasi siya yung nagna-number 2, tay ni Leni Robredo, former Vice President Leni Robredo. Ngayon naman may bagong pangalan na umuusbong at medyo nagpaparamdam kasi sa latest interview ni Secretary John Vic Remulla with Karen Davila, tinanong siya diretso ni Karen Davila kung interesado ba siya kasi may mga naririnig daw siya na medyo may direksyon daw si Secretary John Vic Remulla ng DILG na tumakbo sa pagkapresidente. Ang sagot naman ni John Vic Remulla, sabi niya every governor sa buong Pilipinas ay may ambisyon maging presidente. Siya, dati siyang gobernador for 4 terms daw sa Cavite. Kaya syempre, sa kanya, open-minded siya sa pwedeng possibility. Pero gusto daw niya one-on-one daw para magkaroon ng clear distinction left or right kung sino yung pipiliin ng tao kung sakali mang tatakbo siya sa pagka-presidente. Ngayon naman, napaka-interesting na mga pangalan na posibleng lumabas ngayon. Now, let's talk about the two names. Of course, Sara Duterte and John Vic Remulla. So Dad, what's your assessment on both Sara Duterte and John Vic Remulla for 2028?
Well, katulad sinabi mo, Vice President Sara Duterte is the person to beat, no? Is the woman to beat, as they say. Because right now, sa survey, siya yung nangunguna. At the same time, meron siyang mas appeal, no? At pangatlo, syempre, ang masakit pa dito, kung sakasakali, no, sa mga gusto lumaban sa kanya, kung sakaling yung kanyang ama, na si dating Pangulong Duterte, na nakakulong ngayon sa Hague, sa Netherlands, let's say, kung pumanaw siya before the election, medyo mas malaki yung tsansa na ang simpatya lalong pumalo kay Vice President Sara, lalo sa masa, no? So yun ang advantage ni Sara kung sakali lang mangyari yun, no? So sana naman wag mangyari, kawawa naman yung ating dating pangulo na nakakulong din, no? So sana magkaroon ng mas maayos na katarungan doon kung ano talagang tatakbuhin doon. Pero kung mangyari yun, medyo mas added points sa kanya yun, no? Kay Vice President Sara. Now, pag-usapan natin si Secretary John Vic Remulla, no? So kasi ngayon sa DILG Secretary, siyempre napakarami ng media exposure, no?
Exactly.
So and pangalawa, aside from the media exposure, siyempre dahil siya yung head ng DILG, siyempre meron siyang tinatawag nating relationship sa mga mayors, local executives, no?
Tsaka barangay
mga
captains.
Barangay captains, no? So because of that, medyo normally mga DILG secretary nagkakaroon sila ng tawag dito ng konting edge, no, kasi meron silang tinatawag nating influensya over the leaders who can bring them votes, yung tinatawag nating command votes.
Marami nagsasabi, Mar Rojas 2.0 ba to?
Well, posible, no? Kasi si Mar Rojas din dati, si dating Senator Mar Rojas, si Secretary Rojas, naging DILG governor din, no? Because of
DILG
that,
Secretary.
naging very confident siya na titingin niya, he can master enough command votes. So, yung command votes, ibig sabihin niya yung mga botong pwedeng buhatin ng mga kapitan at alkalde na in favor of you. So, because ikaw yung DILG secretary, you have supervisory powers over them, you have established relationship with them. So, kung makukumbinsin mo sila na suportahan ka, so, syempre,
May handicap.
meron ka ng plus points, no? Kasi yung command votes na tinatawag natin, bawat barangay chairman o mayor, may hawak yan, may hatak yan. So, maaring makuha mo yung ganong numero, meron ka kagad base points. So, katulad nung naglumaban si dating Secretary Mar Rojas kay President Duterte, siya yung number 2, no?
Oo, number 2 siya.
Tinalo
Kahit
niya
sa survey, number
tinalo
4.
niya sila Grace Poe, tinalo niya sila
Vice President
Binay, no? Because of the command votes na sinasabi nga natin, no? So that's although malaki pa rin agwat kay President Duterte that time, but even so,
Number 2 siya.
he landed as number 2, no? So because of that, normally a DILG secretary will have command votes, no? At least if not sufficient, at least substantial, no? So which can help him. So yun ang mga advantage niya, no? And number 3, siyempre, because he's now with the administration, siyempre magkakaroon ng basic support yan from the administration, no? So she is identified with the administration, eh. But you have to weigh kasi between the market votes and the command votes. Kasi ang presidential run kasi, presidential vote is really more of market votes than command votes. Kasi ito, ang mga tao kasi iba pagka presidente,
National
it's
president.
more of their preference and inclination. Di katulad ng mayor kasi at saka mga barangay chairman, relationship based ito. Pero pagka national, it's more of idealistic or more of the preference, no? Emotional, psychological preference, no? So yun ang mga issues dito kasi kung market votes medyo mas mabigat ng kaunti yung market votes ni Vice President Sara compared to John Vic Remulla. Kasi hindi porke DILG Secretary ka, you can command enough votes, no? So for example, si dating DILG Secretary si Benhur Abalos, muntik-muntikan makalusot sa senador, no? He's a very qualified politician and professional, and yet he somehow landed a little bit away kumbaga from that number 12 magic magic number 12 senators, no.
Oo nga.
So yun ang mga minsan may weakness din, no. Depende kasi like senators and president medyo national yan eh. So it's more commandeered by sentiment and market votes rather than command votes. So yun ang mga dapat timbangin dito, no. At lastly, siyempre, ang point dito is ano ba yung maging general sentiment ng madla sa ating gobyerno. Kung positive, then at least kahit na papano, we can say na may laban siya. Pero kung hindi masyado favorable yung sentimento ng tao sa ating pamahalaan ngayon, at he is identified with the government, baka mahirapan din, maging handicap din yan para sa kanya, which we saw last election in 2025 when the administration bets a lot of them did not make it in spite of the fact na nasa survey sila, no? So yan ang mga issues dito na dapat tinitimbang kasi yan ang command votes and market votes.
Ngayon naman, marami mga netizens na nagko-compare ng mga advantages and disadvantages nila. Of course, first, yung mga advantages ng both si Vice President Sara Duterte, Mindanao daw talaga ang kanyang solid south, no? Solid sa kanya. Ngayon naman, nagtatanong mga tao, of course, ang baluarte ni current DILG Secretary Remulla is supposedly Cavite. Solid ba ang Cavite sa mga Remulla as Mindanao is to Sara Duterte?
Well, I think so, no? Kasi ang tagal na rin nilang, yung pamilya ng ni Governor Rubin, matagal na rin talaga sila sa Cavite, no? So, nakita naman natin na tinitingala sila ng tao doon at binoboto sila. So, medyo malakas din yung kanilang foothold doon sa Cavite, no? Siguro, ang advantage lang ni Vice President Sara kasi Bisaya siya. So, yung Visayas Mindanao, medyo malaki yung percentage sa kanya in favor of her as we can see all the surveys, no? So, medyo malaki yung mga Visayans vote sa kanya. Ang tanong na lang, sa Luzon lang siya medyo dehado, di ba? So, pero, you know, at when everything is said and done, ano yung magiging sentimento at the time of the election? Kasi ang presidential kasi sa senatorial is more of sentiment driven eh. Ano yung sentimento for that particular period? Will they be anti-corruption? Ayun ang maging primary issue kasi nung panahon ni President Duterte is basically anti-crime, no? Anti mga drugs and everything. So, yan yung naging sentiment. Nung panahon naman ni Pinoy is also corruption. Kaya na po si Pinoy no? So, it's also this time, no? So, if it's anti-corruption, then maybe Sara and Vice President Sara and John Vic Remulla may have a hard time if there's another dark horse who will join the race, who will be branded as really an anti-corruption candidate, a dark horse like Ninoy Aquino during the 2010 election. No, he became a dark horse because nobody knew that he will run at that time. No, so and then all of a sudden, 8 months before the election, or his mother passed away, and then suddenly he rose up to the challenge. No, at that time hindi siya nakikita na kandidato. Si Vice President Binay ang kandidato noon, si Marojas ang tinitingnan nilang kandidato noon. So yun ang mga nakikita natin na similarity dito sa pagkakataon na to because the sentiment now is anti-corruption, hindi anti-crime. So that's a problem, no?
Yung isa pa nakita kong mga tanong at comment ng mga netizens sa Facebook, sinasabi nila, hindi ba may konting conflict of interest yung pagtakbo ni John Vic Remulla dahil yung kanyang kuya ay ang ombudsman ngayon na si secretary or si ombudsman na Boying Remulla. So, hindi ba may unfair advantage yun na pwedeng ipa-disqualify yung mga gustong lumaban sa administrasyon kung siya yung lalaban?
Well, that's a possibility. But siguro, again, when everything is said and done, as I said, the challenge there is, if they do that, if let's say the ombudsman will do that, definitely he will be put in a terrible social pressure. And I don't think he will do that. I think his professional responsibility and his nationalism will eventually prevail. No? Because if people see that he is going to use his power unduly in favor of his brother, then I think eventually it will backfire against them. No? So I don't think that's going to be a possibility. No? I don't think that it will happen. It's a possibility, but I don't think it will happen. No? So considering na pinangangalagaan din naman nila yung kanilang reputasyon at integridad sa lipunan, at nakita naman natin kahit na si Ombudsman nung panahon na nagkaroon ng problema yung kanyang anak, talagang hinayaan niya makulong din. No? So nakikita naman natin na pinangangalagaan nila yung reputasyon nila, integridad nila. So I don't think that's a cause of concern for anyone who would be a challenger to John Vic Remulla. No? So I don't think that's an issue. But siyempre, some people are just making a big mountain out of a molehill na sinasabi nga natin. But in reality, I don't think it's going to be the case scenario in this case. Oh.
Actually, just talking about these two candidates, qualifications-wise, of course, on the onset, their educational standards, pareho silang magandang background. No? Yung isa, abogado, so mataas yung pinag-aralan. Yung isa naman, UP graduate yata si John Vic Remulla, according to his interview. That's why he's always been supporting the UP team sa UAAP as well. So, what else can you see are the qualifications that both could make them possible presidentiables?
Well, both of them have executive experience, no? The other one, si Vice President Sara has been a mayor for some time, no? And then also si John Vic Remulla has been governor for some time. So both of them have executive experience. So I think both of them will be qualified in terms of managing a nation as complex as ours, no? But siguro ang pagkakaiba na lang talaga yan is the tinatawag nating amor, charisma to the people, no? So kasi bago pa lang si John Vic Remulla in terms of national branding, hindi katulad ni Duterte, medyo nagkaroon na siya ng headway, no? Because of the father.
Yes.
So yun ang medyo maging challenge doon, yung brand building na tinatawag nga natin. Kasi parang ganito yan, maaring sikat ka nga bilang, let's say, soft drink, no? Let's say ang brand mo is RC Cola or let's say Fanta, no? Pero yung isa medyo na-establish niya yung sarili niya na medyo Coca-Cola na or Pepsi Cola, so mas kilala, no?
Syempre.
So medyo may konti siyang advantage, no? So in terms of brand popularity,
Yes.
I think it's going to be a good competition, but medyo may konti lang edge in favor of the Vice President.
Because name recall is still in favor of the current vice president as of today.
Yes, because that's how voters are, no? Siyempre kung ano yung brand na kilala nila. Kaya kung titingnan natin yung mga naupo, minsan sa national elections, these are the scions or mga anak o mga
dynasty.
pamangkin o apo ng mga dati nang umupo, no? Kasi sila yung naaalala, sila yung parang pangalan na kilala na. So kahit na hindi nila talaga alam kung ano yung ginagawa ng tao, pero dahil kilala nila yung brand, yun ang kanilang pinipili, no? So kaya pag titingnan natin yung mga dating pangulo, yung mga anak nila naging senador o naging pangulo din, no? So si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, yung tatay, dating presidente, si Ninoy Aquino, si Noynoy Aquino, yung tatay, nanay niya dating presidente, si Bongbong Marcos ang tatay niya dating presidente. So maraming ganun, ano, si Chel Diokno, yung tatay niya dating senador, at marami pang ganyan na yung mga dating nilang mga magulang kilala na rin, kaya pagpasok nila mas medyo may konti na silang advantage in terms of recognition, brand recognition. No?
Yes,
so yun ang advantage.
In fact, that was one of the observations I did na parang in terms of national position, at least in my recent memory, wala pa akong nakitang Remulla na nakaupo sa senator or even up to the vice president, hindi ba, Dad?
Yes, pero eventually, you can never say. No? Baka one of them can break the mold, as
Exactly.
they say. No?
Parang si Mayor Duterte.
Exactly. No? They can break the mold. So hindi natin masasabi because, again, sometimes depending sa sentimento ng tao. What are they looking for at this moment? Parang ganito yan. For example, nasa disyerto ka, ano bang kailangan mo? Tubig o ginto, di ba? So pag wala kang tubig at mahaba-haba pa yung lalakbay mo, baka mamatay ka along the way. So water is more important to you than gold at that particular moment, especially if there's no water station along the way and you don't have water anymore. And it will take you more than a day to travel. So you need water. Gold is secondary to you, but if let's say you're in a city, you have water and gold, you will choose gold. So depending on sentimento or circumstances of the time. So the needs of the community and society is dependent on that particular circumstance. So kung ang kailangan nila is a graft buster, an anti-corrupt person, then maybe it's another person they need, no? If they want a tough person, it's another person they need. So ganun yan eh. So it depends on the circumstances. Kung ano yung magiging circumstances comes 2027. Kasi in 2027, yun yung magiging tidal wave impact sa 2028.
Yun nga eh. Kaya sa lahat ng mga nanonood ngayon, sa amin sa Ilocano Defenders Parties, ang gusto naming kandidato, kami, tulad namin, pinaglalaban namin yung edukasyon. Kasi pag naayos yung edukasyon, aayos ang bayan. Kaya kung sino-sino man yung mga tatakbo mula presidente, senador, congressman, hanggang pagka-mayor ng bawat bayan, isipin nyo sino dito ang may direksyon para sa edukasyon. Kasi yun talaga ang tunay na solusyon sa pag-angat ng bawat taong bayan. Para sa edukasyon, ako si Morgan Say, ang inyong coach ng bayan.
Mga may mahal kong kababayan, sa amin, sa Ilocano Defenders Party List, ang hangarin namin matulungan kayo na magkaroon ng mas mataas na kaalaman at tamang edukasyon para magkaroon kayo ng maayos na kabuhayan at magkaroon kayo mas matiwasay na kinabukasan. Ako po si Michael Sain, yung dad ng bayan.